big points came from Federated Farmers, and they presented verbally as well. On the first page there, I've recommended that the plan be amended to include a section to cover the percentage of rates levied or set on a fixed basis. So that should go into the recommendation.
Okay.
And Leanne will bring that together, but it's in the second part there. And there's probably a second recommendation too, which is in the second to last paragraph, and I've said there on page 38 of the plan, the reporting of which groups of activities are funded by UAGC in general rate will be revised to show this relationship in an improved manner. So I can wordsmith that. So there's those two recommendations.
Okay.
Out of this paper.
Okay. Any questions here, Councillor Bevan?
I'm just struggling with this a bit, Paul. Uniform annual general rate is 23.28% of rates.
Of the total rate set. That's the uniform annual general charge.
So how can targeted ones be 82% when the two add up to like 105?
Oh, yes, okay. Yeah, the uniform annual charge are targeted. Okay, uniform annual general charge isn't, because everyone pays exactly the same, but a uniform annual charge is a fixed rate targeted to certain ratepayers. It's still a fixed rate.
Did anyone understand that?
Okay.
We all pay a UAGC. Some of us pay a uniform annual charge. There's a differentiate. So that's the anomaly.
Okay.
Do you want me to go over that again? No? It's late. Do you want me to say that again or not?
I think I heard the word okay. Any other questions here? We've got the two recommendations up there. You happy to move, Councillor Scott? The best bit about this is the set of minutes we need to consider at the next meeting. They go on forever. Seconder for that?
I'll help you.
Thank you, sir. Sold. Seconder. Wish to speak, Councillor Scott? Wish to speak?
I'll reserve my right to speak.
Till after 6 o'clock, absolutely. No other speakers. I'll put that motion, and all those in favour please say aye.
Aye.
Contrary, no. Carried. Now we skip one here and go through
Management charges on page 43. Yep.
43.
Page 43.
So this just covers the resource management charges element of the Hawke's Bay Fruit Growers Association submission, and just some clarification. I think they may have been confused about the initial fixed fees and the total costs, or the total costs of processing. So what we do is we have an initial fixed fee for many processing costs, and if the work required is more than the initial fixed fee, then we recover the additional costs. If it's less than that, then we refund the difference. So just some clarification on that point. And then they did make a suggestion that we were carrying some fat in the system because our costs haven't moved in some areas, and that just reflects that we've looked for efficiencies within the team rather than looking to pass on costs. And we've managed to keep cost increases to a minimum where possible.
Questions? This has been a ongoing topic. Councillor Pike.
What percentage of the fixed costs, charge would you have to refund? Do you have any idea?
Off the top of my head, I couldn't say. I mean, what we try and do is pitch the fixed fee so it's about where the total costs might lie. But like in any of these processes, the more organised the applicant, the clearer the application, the more information we have at the outset, the quicker it is for us. If we have to do a lot of running around, which typically we do because they turn up with the bare minimum, then the costs increase. So it's horses for courses, and the staff are acutely aware of the costs and look to be as efficient as possible in terms of processing times. We don't want to delay it anymore because ultimately we hear about it if the costs are high.
Okay.
So, in the draft annual plan, there's a list of charge out rates that we make for processing of applications and consents and so forth, which I can recall seeing. And I've had some concerns expressed to me about the charge out rates that this council uses. I'm wondering if we can accumulate some information that shows how much they've changed over, let's say, the last 15 or 20 years, to see how they compare with cost of living increases over that time. And I'm also interested to see how they compare with charge out rates that other councils use. What I'm looking to try and do is to be able to give the people that use our services some assurance that our charges are not excessive and they're in line with what other councils do.
Sure, and I'm pretty sure that we had benchmarked these just recently, so we can provide that information to you. And just to be really clear, that what we're talking about is what they've submitted on are the fixed fees, the upfront deposit, if you like, for processing some of these things, and what you're talking about are the hourly rates that we would then charge people for work over and above that. But certainly can provide that information.
Right. With that piece of work being undertaken, is someone happy to move that there is no change to the annual plan? Councillor Bevan, thank you. No, I'm going to go over here. Councillor Pipe, wish to speak? No further speakers. I'll put that motion then. All those in favour, please say aye. The contrary, no. The Opaho flood and drainage scheme. They're good old boys up the
there's
north.
Just a slight adjustment as a result in terms of how the rates are allocated. No change in terms of the total rating. So I think we can say no change to the annual plan, but Paul and his staff need to take this into account when they're setting rates.
I thought Darren endorsed the report through that.
That's very good.
Good. I'll pass that on.
Graphs and charts and things are great.
So no change. Okay.
I'll move.
You're happy to move. Thank you, Councillor Barker, and we have a seconder, and Councillor Bevan. Thank you, sir. No further discussion. I'll put that motion. No further discussion. I'll put that motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Contrary, no. Gorsty. Righto. Ray and Leslie, who declined their opportunity to speak, which surprised me somewhat.
Yes, they did. I need to follow this one through together with Wairau District. We have had a conversation a couple of weeks ago with Wairau District. Probably need to just get together with them yet again and talk to Ray and Leslie directly, I think, on this one.
The second paragraph here, we have had that meeting.
Yep.
Yeah. It seems pretty straightforward to me, but
it does. I don't think there are.
The community issues out there that the Thompsons are involved in actually go further than this particular issue, that's the challenge, isn't it? Okay, so there's no change to the plan. I'm happy to move that. Thank you. No speakers. I'll put that motion. All those in favour, please say aye. And to the contrary, no. Carried.
Will we speak to them? Will we be invited to our newly freshly refurbished offices in Wairau?
We will.
No, she makes a nice scone.
When we wet the roof, she can provide the scones. That's right. Mike has all sorts of local knowledge up there. Who makes the best scones? Land management saying the scones. That's right. Right. Let's Mr. Dennis Caves.
Mr. Caves made a couple of points around Mahunga, which I think is, I'm not sure who prepared this reply, but certainly Ian and Mike and Gary and I and the chairman met with staff of Wairau District Council at Mahunga a couple of weeks ago and have certainly worked out a way forward to look at some of the issues around the environmental issues relating to wastewater disposal in particular, and wetland and protection as well. And I'm not quite clear what the point of his submission was on the economic development rate, but perhaps looking at the response, perhaps it was something, perhaps dual. Is it? Okay. Oh, okay, right. That's fine.
And I also add that I will write Mr. Caves a very fulsome letter when that day comes, because he writes me very fulsome emails most days. So. No, he's not that bad at all, and he does raise some good points. One day. Any... Lost my train of thought there. So no further discussion. Is someone happy to move that there is no change to the annual plan? You're happy to do that, Councillor Pipe, and seconded very ably by Councillor Graham. No further discussion. No, I'm quite happy to share the love there, Councillor. So I'll put that motion. Then all those in favour, please say aye. And to the contrary, no. Carried. Mrs. Pauline Tangiora, who, she wasn't with us this year. I'm not sure what happened there, but she's been very forceful in her attitude to us, and quite complimentary at times, but she is so here as well in some places. Any discussion, any comments from the staff on this? No? Everyone's happy? I think we've answered a couple of other things, certainly the hydraulic fracturing, etc., with previous resolutions. Someone happy to move that there's no change to the plan? Thank you, Councillor Scott. Seconded. I'm happy to second that. Put that motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Contrary, no. Carried. Okay, lucky last, I think, Mr. Williams. Okay. I think
As Councillor Balfour just seconded.
Any I remind everyone that we are being recorded for posterity, so please let's concentrate on the task at hand. Any commentary from the staff on the response? Okay.
Sorry, just...
It's an issue that's been raised a number of times in terms of dealing with the community reticulation systems in those areas that have been identified, and certainly nothing new coming out of the submission or in terms of how we would respond. And just the second part around the oxidation pond discharges, it's not really an annual plan matter, and that we are in a regulator role, and we are enforcing the conditions of those consents, and we will be expecting those to be fully complied with in September this year. Just as note, our Central Spade are expecting the Waipukurau plant online within weeks for bedding in prior to September.
So they'll meet the plan change, the requirement, consent requirement.
That's
I should say.
That's our strong position, not negotiable. Yep.
Yeah, that is our final position, but they will meet it.
Based on the Waipower operations, yes, they should meet the conditions comfortably.
That's good news.
Just the other little point, sorry, it might be of interest, is that there was an issue with tannins out of the Waipower plant a few months ago. I can't remember exactly when that was. It hit the paper. They're now also considering putting a peroxide treatment system into the system to deal with the tannins as well. So getting that ahead of the filtration to get the tannins out.
Thank you.
I got a question. If you're using peroxide, where is the peroxide going after it's done its chemical work? Is that in a separate process, completely sealed, or the peroxide going into the river? Then
goes through the alum dosing plant, picks up all the material out of that, and then through the sand filtration, through the UV treatment and back out.
So the peroxide won't get into the river?
So there's no harmful effect of peroxide. Peroxide's relatively anoxic.
Well, it shouldn't be, but...
Thank you. Were you happy to move that?
Yeah, I'm happy to move that we consider his submission, and I would like to speak to it.
And no change to the plan.
No change to the plan.
We have a seconder for that. Go on then, Councillor Belford.
I'm waiting for one to move an amendment that we
No.
dial up at 2 o'clock.
No. Order. Let the mover speak.
I think Mr. Williams actually makes some very good points, and I think the tragedy is he gets too emotional and then loses it. And I'm trying very hard to put that aside and say he's very concerned about the issues, and he does make some very good points, and despite the fact that I had an altercation with him. So I just want to make that point that, it's not all bad.
Other speakers, seconder? Other speakers? Put the motion in. All those in favour, please say aye. To the contrary, no. Carried. Any other matters to consider?
No minor items, no?
No, there was none of that, no.
No.
You are confident that we have ticked every page of this? Yes? Okay. Let's just check that before we declare the meeting closed. So everyone's nodding over here. Well, thank you, everyone. And I hereby declare the annual plan hearing for 2014 officially closed, and well done to you all. And I will shout for you if anyone's got the stamina to have a quick wine on the way out.
Councillors, the